Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Good Old Podcast. I'm Jacquie Franciulli for Wahoo's 24/7, and we have a special guest on today's episode. So without further ado, here is Anthony Johnson. AJ, thanks for coming on today.
No, I'm excited. I'm honored to be on here today.
So you guys have kind of hit the ground running with spring practice. I was there for the first practice. It seems like there was a lot of energy out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of energy. Anytime you have new coaches, it's a time, to connect and, to get acclimated with the new system. And spring ball is a good time for that to happen, especially with a lot of young guys that we have on our team. The ability for them to, to develop, to know the new coaches, learn the new scheme, and to see what they can bring and offer to the table is really good. So the first day of practice was really good.
It felt like the defense was playing with a chip on their shoulders. That's what it felt like. You guys had more energy out there. Did you see that in the first three practices?
Yeah, I definitely see it. The defense is definitely playing with a chip on our shoulder. We have a lot to prove. There's a lot of talk about, the past and, different things. And we're just trying to change the narrative and the culture this year. We got a lot of guys who are hungry, a lot of leaders who played last year and want different for this defense. So I think we're definitely playing with a different tempo and speed.
You had made your decision to come back to Virginia before even Tony Elliott was announced as a head coach. Actually, you were about to announce that you were returning on that Thursday when Bronco Mendenhall stepped down. You had tweeted there was big news coming, and that was the big news. Your news, not Bronco Mendenhall's news that you were taking.
Right.
Tell me the emotions that went through your mind. You're like, here I am about to announce that I'm coming back to Virginia. I'm pumped. I'm excited about the future. And wow, the head coach is unexpectedly stepping
down. Actually, it was just really crazy. I just didn't want anyone to think that I was leaking like outside information because I had no clue about that. Like I just talked to my mom and I was like, I think I'm going to come back. I'm not really big on Twitter anyway. So like, I don't even know what made me tweet that anyway. So, when I got a emergency meeting come through my Teamworks on my phone, I'm like, okay, I wonder what like this meeting could be about. I never thought that it would be like Coach Mendenhall announcing that he would step down. But like just being in the college world for a few years and having different transitions and coaches and D coordinators and position coaches, it was hard because Coach Bronco was a great job and his staff was amazing. But, kind of was used to the transition of a coaching change.
And that nice segue to my next question was about the transition to the new coaching staff. Obviously, Coach Cox is the new DB coach, and he's the defense passing coordinator coach as well. How's the transition been with him on board?
Coach Cox is a really good coach. He knows a lot about the game, him having the experience playing at the highest level that there is. He just does a really good job of detailing everything that we're learning. He really breaks it down, that you can understand it. He does a good job of teaching us the ins and the outs, and that it's more of winning before the play really starts. Learning more mental aspect of the game rather just, going out and relying on your talent. Coach Cox is a really good coach, and I'm really excited to work with him this year.
What are the differences that you've seen in the practice run by him and Coach Rudd? What are some of the changes you've seen defensively?
Just us playing with a more aggressive tempo, just us running to the ball. That's always been an emphasis. And, creating turnovers. I think they're doing a good job of getting guys to create turnovers. Guys wanting to get turnovers to get the hat the next day in meetings. So, you get a visor if you get a turnover. So I think they're doing a good emphasis on creating turnovers.
How many visors have you gotten already?
I haven't got one yet.
Day 3 and
I haven't gotten a visor yet. I don't know what's going on. I haven't had any interception opportunities. So the first one that I get, hopefully that I can get me a visor, even though I don't wear hats, but it's still pretty cool.
You can be kind of like Spurrier and bring the visor back.
I probably wear it like upside down with the cap flipped up or something goofy like that.
So when we're talking about how you want to get the visor, you're going to get picks this spring. What are some of the goals that you want to take away from this spring moving into the next season?
I definitely just want to learn the ins and out of the defense, understand what we're trying to accomplish on defense and certain calls, what coverages, what we're trying to take away. Just get comfortable knowing my job, and then also learning what everybody else is doing around me. I think not only knowing your job, but being able to know what the linebacker has, or what kind of edge rush the D end is going to use, or what gap this D tackle should be in, gives you the ability to play faster, to make more plays in the run and pass game as a player. So just learn the defense and the scheme in and out.
How great is it for you as a DB to go up against an offense like UVA has with those talented wideouts and Brennan Armstrong? I'm sure that helps you a lot when you look through the ACC competition to have that level of competition in the practice field as well.
Oh, it's a battle every day. I mean, to go against guys like Lavelle, I mean, he's 6'7", he's huge. I think he may be the tallest receiver in the ACC. And then you got guys like Dontavian and KT, and when Billy gets healthy, man, it's just a really good group of guys, really good group of receivers, and they're highly competitive. We talk trash throughout practice. It's really a great competitive atmosphere when we're at practice, and to have that ability to do that week in and week out is, I mean, it's better than any scouting and any film that you can watch.
How much trash talking is there between you and the wideouts?
Oh, it's a lot of trash talking, and it's not just on the field. It's throughout the whole day. Even in days that we don't have practice, we're always going back and forth. The offense likes to claim that the defense knows what they're doing, but hey, you got to go out and execute it. But it's always constant trash talk, and it's always positive. Guys encouraging each other, and it just stays on the field, and it's all brotherly love. It's nothing that gets out of hand where guys are upset about certain things. So it's definitely good.
But who is the best trash talker, though?
We got. I mean, the offense. I mean, they're all really good. KT's good, Dontavian's good, Vale's good. I mean, they got some good trash talkers, but I think I got a pretty good game. I know how to get in guys' head. I think I have a more mental approach to it. Like, try to shut a guy's hold. Like, once I'm in the guy's head, it's over with. Their practice is there's no longer having a good practice.
Do you have I think it's the Duke basketball fans. Every time they have a team travel to them, they have a spreadsheet of all the information from their opponents and what they can trash talk and chant over them. Is that you? Is that you? Is that what you have?
No, not like that. I just get on the guy if he may drop a ball or mess up on the offensive side. I make sure that he knows that he just dropped that pass or he didn't do his assignment correctly, and I kind of carry on with it. Sometimes the coaches tell us like, hey, stop, but if I'm out there, I'm definitely going to be talking.
You grew up in Florida. You had big dreams of playing college ball and then obviously moving on to NFL. One of the drawbacks of that is also social media and everything that has to go around with that. How frustrating is it when obviously things weren't going well in the field defensively last year for several games at UVA? How frustrating was that you technically you couldn't turn it off because you had that noise in the background? How do you adjust to that?
Personally, I'm not a really big social media guy as far as like in the season. Um, just for those reasons, the distractions, the naysayers, the doubt, seeing the statistics, just hearing people give their opinion who, quite honestly, don't do what we do. They don't come out and practice. They don't work as hard as we do. They don't put in the time and the effort. And to see those things as a player, if you don't have a strong mental toughness, it can weigh on you, and it can mess with your confidence. So I try to just advise guys not to worry about those things, and when you hear negative things, if it's not positive, don't pay it any mind, and just to help encourage and lift one another up. So the social media isn't a big factor, but for me personally, it doesn't have a direct impact because I try to channel those things out that are not positive during the season.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys who basically take their Twitter off their phones for the entire of the season just to avoid it. But what is the biggest misconception that you feel like as a student athlete, as a DB at a college, as a college team? What is the biggest misconception that fans have?
I think in as far as like a DB, fans just see a guy catching a ball and scoring a touchdown, so they, oh my gosh, that DB sucks. But there's so much in it that goes into it, like the basic fan doesn't know how important it is to have a really good pass rush, or if you're playing cover two and you're playing underneath the guy and your safety doesn't get over top, or just the different schemes and the ins and outs that is also takes place versus just, seeing a guy catching the ball and like, oh my gosh, that DB must suck. But like knowing and understanding the scheme that, okay, maybe that safety busted this coverage, or, sometimes a guy does just make a really good play. But I think that may be the biggest misconception is if people just see the DB being the last defender and it has the most control over points in the football game. So like if a linebacker or a D line misses a tackle, I mean, hey, no big deal. The DB makes the tackle, boom, next play. But if the DB doesn't make that tackle and the guy scores, oh my gosh, the DB missed the tackle. Like, what is he doing? He's not a good football player. Just things like that.
You mean there's more positions than corners and safeties?
Yes, right? There are more positions.
And this is a time during the spring where not only are guys working on fundamentals, you're working on, new guys working into the depth chart, but also just trying to familiarize guys with new schemes. You're also trying to build that chemistry across the team, across the coaches. What are some of the things that you guys do to kind of blow out steam or just get together and form that bond that you need on the football field?
I think that having us eat at JPJ for dinner is a really good way. We got guys, come in and we just sit down and we eat dinner together and we just talk, kind of get off football, or if there's some things that guys don't understand, or we'll talk about football as well, like man, what happened on this play and things like that. Coach has done a great job of creating a space upstairs in the McHugh for guys to come and lounge in, and just to put a few games up there, PlayStations, and just a way to kick back and bond together as a team and understand how important the camaraderie is, which really makes good teams really good, is being able to gel and be around one another outside of just the football field.
One word that I keep hearing from several players I've talked to is electric, and they say that's the energy around the program right now. Do you feel it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel it. It's exciting. When you have something new, like change is good, and like everybody's wants to embrace the new culture that coach is trying to establish. And I see us hitting the ground running. Like guys are bought in, guys are ready to, compete. And I think we're a really good football team and have a really good chance of doing a lot of big things this year.
Now, one thing that you do off the field that we talked about after practice last week was either you watch fishing or you fish. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. So I like to fish. I haven't done much fishing since I've been in Charlottesville, which is a shame to me because I haven't really gotten out and tried it. But I really do love fishing. It's so relaxing and peaceful. It's something that I did all my life. My grandfather and my dad, they taught me when I was young, and it's just something I just always loved.
It teaches you a lot of patience, right?
Definitely. And playing defensive back, you have to be patient. And, they always say a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at the office. So, I mean, you can go out on the water and be out there for hours and don't catch anything. Or you can go out and, for hours and you just catch one fish, but that one catch, can be the catch of a lifetime, or you can go out and you just catch a lot of fish. It just depends on the day, depends on the time, also the spot. And I just love it. I just grew up love fishing. Don't care to eat them much. My family really loves to eat fish. I just do it for the sport.
You just made a metaphor for playing DB to fishing, AJ.
Yes.
That's
It hand in hand, it correlates, to be patient at the line of scrimmage, not to be too overly aggressive with like receivers, and like, with fishing, you don't want to be too overly impatient because like as soon as you get ready to move and change spots, that's when the one that you've been waiting on is coming. Just like with the receiver, you get too overly aggressive and he cuts underneath you. So I think you can apply some football and fishing.
I don't have patience for fishing. I tried it. I just don't have patience fishing. The only fishing I do right now is we have a magnetic like clay toy for my daughter that we play on in the bathtub. That's as far as the fishing goes.
Yeah, my mom always told me that when she takes me fishing, because when her and my dad were married, that they used to go out and go fishing, and that my dad would have her out there for hours and hours, and like he wouldn't really catch much. But my mom says every time that she's taken me, I've always caught fish relatively faster than with him. So he won't like to hear that, but I think I'm better than him. He won't like to hear that though. He'll think he has more experience and been fishing longer before I was born. So that's his take on it. But
It's good to have some competition in the family.
Oh, for sure. We compete in everything, in all aspects.
That's how you build camaraderie in the house. I already taught competition between my 1-year-old and 4-year-old. Probably not a great thing, but they do compete.
They'll be ready for kindergarten.
They will. They will. I thought we should end the interview just with some fun, of some quick fire questions to get to know you, AJ, rather than Anthony Johnson, Virginia
Right.
DB. So I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions. Okay, you ready?
All right, I'm ready. Let's go for it.
Okay, take it away. Sandwiches or Bodo's bagel?
Bodo's bagels.
The
Wait, does that mean
Villa.
I'm taking away Bodo's bagels or I'm keeping Bodo's bagels?
You're keeping Bodo's bagels.
Okay, I'm keeping Bodo's bagels. We're getting ready to take it.
All right. So which one would you choose then? Would you choose the Villa Diner or Tip Top?
Oh, the Villa Diner. I had the Villa this morning. Funny story about the Villa. A teammate of mine, I seen him have some breakfast, and when he told me where he was, he said it's the Villa Diner, and it's like 2 minutes down the street from the McHugh. And I went there for a week straight when he told me. Like, the Villa is amazing. Like, I love the Villa Diner. I need to be sponsored by the Villa Diner.
Here you go. If you're listening, AJ would like an NL deal with the Villa Diner.
Yes, I would love that.
What's your favorite thing on the menu there?
I'm a country down south guy, so I love the deluxe. I get 5 eggs, grits, bacon, white toast, and if I'm really feeling hungry, I'll add like a side of 3 pancakes or like French toast. And I get a Oreo milkshake as well. It's legit.
Oh, that sounds great. And I know that was meant to be quick fire questions, but we'll go back to that. But that sounds really, really good.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm distracted. I'm hungry. You're making me hungry.
Yes.
Next thing is Qdoba or Chipotle?
Ooh, I have to pass on both of those. I don't eat Qdoba or Chipotle.
Do you? Let me guess. You're from Florida. Do you eat Moe's?
Nah, I'm not. I'm really picky. Not a taco guy. Not a Mexican guy. I'm really like chicken tenders, steak, seafood. That's it.
Okay. All right. Chick-fil-A or Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Hands down, Chick-fil-A.
Sweet tea or unsweetened tea?
Oh, sweet tea for sure.
You're from the South. I knew that was going to be your answer. By the way, in Virginia, some places do not have sweet tea, and that threw me off when I first moved to Virginia.
Yeah, I did not enjoy the sweet tea from Popeyes or Chick-fil-A in Virginia at first.
It's too sweet.
Well, I must have had a bad batch because mine wasn't that sweet.
See, I find I was obviously I've been living in Gainesville, Florida, covering the Gators, and down there they've got a good mix. Obviously, from Florida, they got a good mix of sweet tea. But my husband's family's from Alabama. Now that's sweet tea.
Is it legit?
It's legit.
Yeah, I have a lot of family in Gainesville. Like a big part of my family lives in Gainesville. That's like a part of what we used to do when I was younger. We would go up for my great grandmother's birthday in March, and we just have a good time. She stayed out in Alachua, it's like the country there. I have a big trailer that she has, and like just a lot of land. And we would just get together and ride 4-wheelers and play softball and things of that nature. So I had a big ties in Gainesville. I actually was a Gator fan as well growing up. Many people don't know that.
Okay. All right. Did you camp while you were out in the recruiting trail? Did you go to camps there in Gainesville?
As far as I definitely did. Randy Shannon, I believe, was their defensive coordinator at the time.
Yeah.
And I did a few camps, man. I thought they were gonna offer me on the junior camp day, but they told me to come back to like the Friday Night Lights, and that they would offer me based off their draft board. And once they told me, not the draft board, but their recruiting board. And once I heard that, I was already committed to Louisville, and I was like, okay, I'll stay with Louisville because, Florida was my dream school, my dream offer, but like the fact that I wasn't a priority, I wasn't really feeling that.
You know what? I would have met you then. That was my first year covering the Florida Gators when you were committed to Louisville.
Oh wow! So look, that's perfect. That it was meant for us to be in contact.
Yeah, it just happened to be in Charlottesville, Virginia, not Gainesville, Florida.
Yeah, not Gainesville, Florida.
AJ, finally, if you had to leave one message to the fan base about spring, about this upcoming year, what would you want to say?
I would like to say to the fan base, let's pack Scott Stadium this year. Um, let's come out and have great energy. Let's do a good job of supporting us, no matter what the score looks like. I just really would love to see Scott Stadium packed. I see pictures all throughout McHugh of when we played Florida State, I believe, a few years back in Miami, and I mean, it just looks like an amazing atmosphere to be in. So let's pack Scott Stadium.
That's a great, yeah. Let's get back to college football. Get that hill
That's
packed.
Yes, the hill, man. That's a great thing. That's like one of the unique things about Scott Stadium is the hill. Like I've only seen that at like Scott Stadium, Wake Forest, and it just looks like a great time out there.
Well, hopefully we get to see a packed Scott Stadium next year. Well, thanks, AJ, for joining us today on the podcast.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. Go Hoos.
And thanks again to Anthony Johnson for joining us on this week's episode. And of course, a new episode of the Good Old Podcast will be posted next Tuesday. And we'll also have a new episode coming this Thursday. And we have a new episode of our new class series. This week, we'll talk to Carson Gay, Will Bettridge, and Sean Wilson, 3 signees who committed to the Virginia program. So make sure you follow us wherever you listen to your podcast. And please leave a review on Apple to let us know how you are liking our new podcast on Wahoo's 24/7. And head over to our new YouTube page where we'll be uploading not only episodes of the podcast, but also video content like sights and sounds from Virginia football practice and interviews that we will be holding in the next few weeks as spring practice continues for Virginia football. So for Anthony Johnson, I'm Jacquie Franciulli, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week.